Hey everybody, welcome back here once again. So, we're on to season 2 of Star Trek Picard. And you would think, well, hey, maybe this might get somewhat more interesting along the way. No. No, it does not. It does not get more interesting at all because 3 episodes into this show and I was out. I was just out. I just turned it off. I said, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. This is just nonsense. And I was gone. But that being the case, let me give you a rundown of what it is happening. We'll give you a rundown of my review for this. Some spoilers ahead for anybody who hasn't seen it, but I really don't think you should waste your time to do it anyway. So, you know. Most of it, I'm going to tell you what I have seen from like people do reviews and things online because as I say, I stopped watching it. So here's the thing. Now, certain points in this show make no bloody sense at all. We have this whole thing that started with Picard and the housekeeper. She wanted to get with him, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't really care about it at all. And then he went to see Guinan. Again, nice to see Whoopi Goldberg back as Guinan. She made no impression whatsoever. At all, pretty much like everybody else in this series, all the Star Trek magic is gone. Anyway, so let's get on to what it is really up. This Star Trek admiral comes and recruits Picard to go on because they picked up some message in space that's asking for him. Oh, we get to meet Captain Rios. I mean, you remember the days when Starfleet captains looked dignified and who commanded some sort of respect and, this panache about them. No, Rios is there like some kind of freaking crime lord with this beard and a cigar and pose up in a chair. I mean, like, you will look at him and kind of thinking, yeah, okay, crime boss, not really Starfleet captain here at all. So anyway, they get there. There's Rios, there's Picard, Seven, Jurati, you have Raffi and Elnor, who was Picard's, who Picard met in season 1 or than the other. Anyway, so this Borg ship comes through this strange spatial anomaly. The Borg Queen transports over and starts using her tentacle things to do things into the ship. Everybody starts shooting. Rios is there telling his crew, ceasefire, and men ignoring him and reloading and firing. I mean, that is some next level chain of command, boy. They really could care less about you, them just shooting non-stop. So, Picard activates the self-destruct, the ship blows up. Next thing you know, we meet Picard in this house, and Q is there. Q then decides to make himself look old, to just the same thing as Picard. So they end up in this alternate timeline where humanity is, pretty much some kind of dictatorship. Long story short, all of them come back together. They time travel using this Borg Queen that the other humanity had captured, and they time travel to the past in Los Angeles 2024. Yeah, because I watched Star Trek to see them trekking through the stars. No, let's go back in time and come back to this time. That's what people want to see. Yeah, that's not going to ruin the show at all. So they get back to the past and immediately start to hear this shit has to start to happen. So they all decide that they have to split up to go and get some supplies here, there, and the other, and one of the other. And they must try as best as possible to not draw attention to themselves. Immediately, Rios screws that up and draws attention to himself. It ends up in a hospital, well, this kind of clinic, really. Then he gets captured by ICE because he has no papers and he's there illegally and all this kind of nonsense that nobody interested in. Of course, Seven and Raffi, they are spectacular because, they are strong, proud, gay women. So they must do nothing wrong. They know exactly what they're doing. Anybody remember when the show used to have actual people in it and not these social justice insert wannabe characters that nobody gives a crap about? And speaking of Seven, let me say, Seven of Nine was the most interesting, or one of okay, probably the most interesting character in Star Trek Voyager. Really was. Because she was a mixture of so many different things. She was like part data, part Borg, part human, part little girl, part innocent, part analytic, part cold, part now trying to understand, part hopeful. All these things mixed together made this really interesting character that you could really get to. But now they've just turned her into this wannabe bounty, kind of wannabe slash badass bounty hunter kind of woman that does not work and has just destroyed the character. I mean, you actually hear her when she's talking to Raffi in this series. She said that she tried to join Starfleet, but they wouldn't accept her because she was once part of the Borg, and Janeway even threatened to resign. But that doesn't make any sense to me, because this doesn't seem like the Starfleet I know. For instance, I mean, Picard was incorporated into the Borg, and he destroyed people and almost enslaved the Earth. They didn't have a problem with that. He was still a captain. Other people have gotten infected with part of the Borg and all kind of things. And I think Seven has more than proven herself to be a member of Starfleet. But even if she isn't a member of Starfleet, I don't see her joining up as some kind of galactic ranger thing. I more see her, forming an organization that could work alongside the Federation. That, not what you have pretty much done here. That doesn't make any kind of sense at all. It doesn't. And then, of course, Jurati decides to mind meld kind of thing with the Borg Queen to get some information, which of course results in her being taken over by the Borg Queen. And then she leaves the ship and goes around ripping out parts from cars and stuff and killing people, even though she has a perfectly working replicator on the ship to get her whatever she needs. But no, the reason she has to be out there is because they have to put her in a red dress with a slit to show her legs and some boots, and she could step around kicking up people and beating people, because all the women have to be total badasses. As usual, Picard just kind of drifts around like some kind of, wretched old man just there hoping to give out wisdom that nobody seems to care about at all. We also have Q, who apparently is dying, which makes no sense. The Q are immortal, godlike beings, and somehow Q's dying. And the best lesson Q decides to do is to send them back to the past. I mean, all the coolness of Star Trek is just gone from this, If Q was going to, I could see one episode where he does it fine. But a whole series of them in the past doing absolutely not one shit anybody cares about? Come on now, man. That is just so bloody ridiculous. So, they go back to the past, and apparently Q goes to Dr. Sung, who's one of Data's ancestors, who, looks just like Data and like that, who's basically a mad scientist. Now, mad scientists usually have a reason for their madness. He does not. He does not have does not have a reason for his madness. He just seems to be pretty much stupid. You would think now, in the beginning, you get to understand that he has that he has a daughter who has some kind of genetic disease. So you think, okay, but turns out he doesn't have a daughter. He's been genetically cloning these people, cloning this girl, this woman, right? And when Q gives him the cure for some genetic problem he's encountered, he's perfectly happy to go out murdering people for Q. Even hits Picard with a car when he was trying to kill some other woman. And this other woman, who's really important, turns out to be Picard's ancestor, because apparently all Picard's male relatives are either assholes or completely unimportant. Speaking of Picard's relatives, we get to find out that Picard's mother was crazy, even though they have cured mental illness in the future. But somehow, she seems to have the only kind of mental illness that has no cure. So she was crazy. And then eventually ends up hanging herself. Because, apparently this whole thing about mental illness, and I really just, God, boy, I don't know, I just get so sick of this nonsense to begin with. And then, of course, we have this whole thing where Rios meets this doctor woman who has some son there, and there's a little attraction between them that doesn't really make sense at all, because you feel no attraction at all, and it's all leading up to Rios eventually deciding to stay in the past with them. Like anybody supposed to really care, you never really made much of an impact to begin with. But then you have Raffi and Seven, and you hear Raffi talking and saying that if Rios and Jurati get back together, she don't want that anymore. She and Seven are the new thing. They're interested. I mean, am I the only one? Really, I actually want you all to tell me, am I the only one who could honestly care less about Raffi and Seven's fake lesbian relationship? Because I really don't give a rat's ass about it at all. There's no passion between them. There's no connection. They are solely put together because this series wants to show that it is progressive, it is inclusive, it is this, it is that, it is woke as hell, and it makes no freaking sense at all. None. Show drags along with, Borg Queen, Jurati, doing something, and then having a heart with the Borg Queen and deciding to stop something, and all of this leading up to some big stupid space launch thing that you could really and honestly care less about. Let me get back to the time now. Q telling Picard the whole reason he did all of this was because he didn't want Picard to die alone, and he wanted him to have someone with him. I mean, let me tell you something. To tell you how bad this show was, tell you how bad this second season was. Even the people behind it didn't have any hope in it, because halfway through the second season, they put out a trailer for the third season, showing that they are going to bring back all the original crew members from Star Trek Next Generation. I mean, I really don't think I want to see that, because I think they just completely destroyed Star Trek Picard at this point. I mean, you even have this part there where this government official, man from FBI or something, is questioning Picard and a younger version of Guinan, which also makes no sense, because this version of Guinan looked nothing like Guinan. Okay, fine. But she doesn't remember Picard, even though he had already traveled to the past and met her before and saved her life. Because you remember in the episode from Star Trek Next Generation, where they went back to like 18 something with Data's head and all kind of thing, and he saved Guinan and all of that. In the year 2024 now, and she has no idea who Picard is, even though she knows who Picard is and has been waiting to meet him for hundreds of years. For 500 years, she's been waiting to meet Picard. She knows it, but somehow she doesn't know who he is now. Utter rubbish. Anyway, this FBI man is talking with Picard, and hear his story. So when he was a child, he was looking for his lost dog or something, and went into the woods, and he met some Vulcans. Right? He met some Vulcans, and he was scared, ran away. The Vulcans and then caught up to him, and then one tried to do a mind meld on him. But before he could finish doing the mind meld, they get transported back up to their ship. Several things there make no sense. One, even if the Vulcans were on Earth, right? Even if the Vulcans were on Earth, even though there was only the reported time of them being on Earth, the one time before that happened when there was Anyway, they were even if they were on Earth, mind meld was something that was considered kind of taboo among Vulcan culture. Only a select few, a small group of them practiced it at that point in time. But others thought it was kind of offensive and didn't practice it. So, okay, let's assume that was a group of the people who actually practiced it. Okay, let's assume that. All right, no problem. The transporter technology is the next problem, because transporter technology did not exist at that point in time for Vulcans. It was actually the humans and their milling around with it that actually created transporter technology. Vulcans didn't have it. That is why they had to land their ships on planets. So how did these Vulcans have transporter technology when it didn't exist? Once again, this show just completely throws all Star Trek logic and law out the door to just replace it with whatever the hell they want. When we do get back to the future timeline now, and all of this, the Borg Queen turns out to be Jurati. Big surprise there, who's gotten this kind of Robocop kind of finish with her face, sort of. And then that's pretty much it. We also get to see Wesley Crusher recruiting Dr. Soong's little clone daughter for the Travelers. You never really get to understand what the hell that was, or rather really care, but that was pretty much it. The entire second season was just a waste of bloody time. I checked out after 3 episodes. What I have, I just put together from what I've seen, little glimpses of online, and nothing impressed me. Literally nothing. Why would you take this show and the entire second season base it in the year 2024? I said that nonsense, like you're hearing Rafi talking and saying, oh, she could never understand why a society would evolve like that. And nobody gives a crap about your political views. People watch Star Trek because they want to see things happening in the stars. They want to see you trekking. And you just piss it away. God, but I mean, this entire second season was just absolute rubbish. And I am not interested at all in seeing season 3. I might give it a look just out of curiosity, but something already telling me by the second episode I'm going to be very pissed off. Why can't they do anything good with this? But the worst part of this is, the honest to God worst part of this entire Star Trek Picard is how much Patrick Stewart has completely lost the ability to be Jean-Luc Picard. It's gone. It's just completely gone. It's not there anymore at all. Now he just comes off as this doddering old man who's just always there. You can get older and still be a badass, but no. This is what we get. Garbage. That's it for me for now, people. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you saw it and you actually enjoyed it. There were other passages I just could not be bothered to even go into, but if you saw the second season and you think it's good, let me know. If not, don't worry about it. I would give a review for this. I would give a rating, but like I said, I only watched 3 episodes, so I don't think I should. But if I had to give a review based on the 3 episodes, I would say I'd give it a 1 out of 5, honestly, which is that bad. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, be notified every time I put out a new video, and I shall see you all in the next video. Take care.